Why, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Truly Odd Podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's dive right on in. Starting off with our game news topics for today. Fractured Point reveal trailer. So I have never heard of this game until today, where I saw this gameplay footage, and it's funny because when I watched the trailer, I wanted to go see if there was any articles written about it. I'll have those both in the description down below for you guys to take a look at. But my interest in it was it reminded me of a PlayStation 2 game called Black. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It was very popular for PlayStation 2, one of the games that I enjoyed personally. And yeah, this trailer really reminded me of that game. It seems I didn't see any aiming down sights, so it just seemed like it was just a third person shooter going through hallways, and it looked like a lot of fun. And sometimes that's all players want in a game where you can go running and gunning and having a good time. A lot of games, I think, a lot of the new modern games have really just kind of missed the point for certain video games and certain things. I feel Call of Duty for myself has fallen off quite a bit. But that's just how I feel. There's a lot. It has a really wonderful community, and a lot of gamers still continue to play Call of Duty to this day. So, who am I to say if it's what they're doing is bad or good? But for me, this looked like a lot of fun, and it just looked interesting. I'll be interested to see more gameplay footage. This did seem really like a higher end CGI ish version of the gameplay, but I really am looking forward to seeing what else they have in store for this game for when it's released. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this one. But let me know what you guys think. Does this game interested you? Did you play the game Black back on the PlayStation 2, and did you enjoy it? I think it was also for the original Xbox, if I remember correctly. So if you actually have Game Pass, you might be able to play it. So I highly recommend you check it out. It was a really fun game back in the day, and I'm sure it's fun nowadays. Just remember, you can't aim down sights. So that was one thing when I went back to try and play it that frustrated me because I forgot that you couldn't do that back in the day. On to our next topic, the First Berserker Khazan combat gameplay. Now, if you haven't heard of this game, it was the first I've heard of it myself, but they do have a gameplay reveal. And honestly, what captured my interest mostly was the art style. Seeing as the backgrounds, all the textures and stuff seem semi realistic, but the player and the characters seem to be anime based, so they really pop out. And I'm loving the way this art looks, and this game looks to be a lot of fun. Now it says it's a Souls like. I don't really like that term because there's a lot of games that are more than just Souls like, but it does have that flow of stamina and combat and things of that sort. And I really enjoyed this combat trailer. I highly recommend you guys take a look at it. Now I love it when I watch YouTube videos or watch gameplay of a game that I had no idea was coming out, and it just really sparks your interest and captures your attention. So this game really, really got me interested in what they have to show and stuff. I think they also had a trailer released as well, but it's more of the combat gameplay that I was very interested in. As far as this art style is concerned, it really, really captured my attention and really shook me because I think the only game I really saw that was kind of using this anime or comic book like things was oh my god, why can't I think? Borderlands. And I'm sure other games have used it, but as far as big budget games are concerned, so it's really nice to see that art style mixed with some semi realism for the background. And yeah, this game just looks to be a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think. Take a look at the trailer or at the combat gameplay down below, and yeah, let me know. Moving on to our next topic. So it looks like the next gen Xbox plans reported details. Now I looked into this IGN article and looked at what the video that they said, and we don't really have details. It's more or less them saying that they are working on the next gen console to be released in 2027 or 2028 most likely, but we'll see what ends up happening. And that's generally right, as far as the life cycle of an Xbox is concerned or a console is concerned. So yeah, we should be looking for our new PS6 and new Xbox Series 360, whatever the hell they're going to call it because they don't know how to name consoles for the next 2 to 3 years for that to be released. But they do say some things about the new Xbox, like they want it to be like almost like a PC. So they want it to be very intuitive, close to PC as they can get, very powerful console. And I think that's awesome, wonderful. I really do hope they make it as strong as a PC. But the problem is they don't have any damn games. And when I say that, I mean they don't have any exclusives. All their exclusives are going to PlayStation, all their exclusives are going to PC. And I get it, they want to make money off their games, but if they're trying to sell a next gen console, I think they have this recent generation and probably the previous one as great examples of what not to do. And what not to do is to not have great games, exclusive games on your console, especially if you want to sell them. Now, I think this coming generation for the 2027, 2028 will be their last generation of consoles they create if they do not fix the fact that they're not putting their exclusive games on their consoles and they're not utilizing the full capability of their Xbox, which this most recent one, I don't think any of their games really utilized the full power of the Xbox. And that's really sad to say, but we'll see what ends up happening in the long run. I also don't think they're going to do a two console thing I think it was the Xbox Series S. I really hate their naming convention, so I always get confused on which one is which. But the little white console, that one, the digital one only, that's not as powerful. They don't seem to be doing that for the next generation, and I think that is because they might be looking into doing a portable option. Now they're saying that they're going to be releasing a third-party portable Xbox console later in 2025. And I think they're going to try to utilize what Steam Deck is utilized, making it its own little powerful computer so they can play games on Steam. And most likely this one will be Xbox Game Pass specific. I don't know if it's going to actually have Windows features on it, but it makes sense for them to utilize it in that way so they can really promote their Game Pass for a portable console, especially the older games, especially, having the capability to stream those games or even having enough memory to download them so you can play the full versions of those games from Game Pass. I think that's really good. So my question is, if they're going to plan on releasing a portable console here late in 2025, do they plan on having a newer one when the next generation console comes out? Probably, within the first 2 years of its release, maybe looking at 2030 for that one. Who knows? I'm very curious what they plan on doing. Xbox is really far behind, and I really hope that they pick things back up and get going because competition is important for us gamers, and we really need it. I was speaking with my cousin the other day. He's a big Xbox fan, and I'm a big PlayStation fan. And over the years, me and him have, gone back and forward and argued about things and, just shooting the shit, making fun of each other as far as Xbox and PlayStation. But me and him were both agreeing that it's really sad, where Xbox is at because we really want them to continue to have competition and, move things along and move things forward for themselves. That would benefit us both as gamers. And I'm just wondering if you guys agree with me. But let me know what you think. Are you excited for the next generation of Xbox? Are you even interested in Xbox? Are you hoping to get really great exclusive games for them? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. On to our fourth topic today. SAG-AFTRA actors strike set to continue. So if you don't know this, the SAG-AFTRA has been on strike, I believe, since September of 2023. So we're looking at a year and a half that they've been on strike. And it looks like a lot of the issues are with generative AI in the video game industry. It's really hard for the studios to push generative AI when it doesn't benefit the actors. Because let's face it, a lot of studios and higher ups will, I take it from someone named Robert Meyer Burnett. He's on the John Campea show. I think he has his own YouTube channel called The Burnett Work. And he says you don't get what you're worth, you get what you negotiate. And these actors want to negotiate the proper terms for themselves as far as pay, as far as their performance, because with this AI, studios will be able to change their performance or use their voices in any way they want without the actor's permission or approval, and that is the main problem. They could use their voices for other projects that they're not being paid for, and it's a kind of a way to rip off the actors. And so it makes sense that they're on strike for this long, and I don't think they're going to be getting a deal anytime soon. It seems like their most recent deal had a lot of ways that people can backhand each other and betray each other, but in legal terms, I forget what the word is, but it's just not looking really good for this strike, and I think this strike will continue to go on for the remainder of this year. And the thing with this strike specifically, there's the movie strikes and then there's the game strikes. So with the movie strikes, you cannot make movies, TV shows, and content without the actors, because the actors are the face of your product and you need them to sell things moving forward. But when it comes to the video game industry, actors are not the main draw. The content is the main draw as far as the gameplay and things of that sort. So you don't really need your actors. So that is why this is not as important to get this deal signed and done moving forward. However, there are big projects that do have big voice actors that are part of SAG-AFTRA and other actors that haven't been able to finish their performances for certain games. But in the game industry, when you're creating a game, you don't feel the effects of that until your release, which could be later in 2025, 2026, 2027, because games take years to create. So I think that's why it's taking so long for this strike to end. I think a lot of the games coming out this year that have release dates, those performances have already been captured and are already completed, and they were done probably back in early 2023 or 2022. So we're not going to feel the effects of this strike until at least 2026, 2027. And even then, by that time, if this strike is finished and this deal is done, we're still not going to feel the effects at all, because games can implement the acting into the program or into the game at any time in the development. It really doesn't slow things down as far as the development cycle is for the game. It only slows down the motion capture aspect of it. So it's very intriguing what's going on here with this strike, and I'm surprised that it's gone on for this long. And I think right now the game studios are in power as far as they have more leeway, but as long as these actors hold out, they will eventually get what they want. And me personally, I'm on the side of the actors as far as this generative AI. I don't think it's right to have AI, use your performance without your permission and without you getting paid for it. I think, if someone's going to use your likeness and use your voice, you need to be well compensated, and contracts need to be signed and negotiated on how much compensation that will be. Now, another aspect of strikes that I think is going on with this is what is it, royalties, or what is it called? It's not royalties, but I forget what it's called. But actors from TV shows get checks after so many times because ad revenues and stuff like that. But it's kind of difficult when it comes to video games, because after a certain point, video games don't really make as much money as they did during the initial release. So I'm very curious how they're going to negotiate that. I'm going to keep an eye on this and see what other details we get as the strike continues to move forward and as deals are negotiated. Moving on to our next topic, Netflix gaming and generative AI chief has left the company. So honestly, I didn't even know Netflix had a gaming division until I read this article. And I think that's maybe because I'm not very into the mobile game aspect of Netflix games. I don't think they have any big AAA games that they've released. I really don't know. But I was very interested in why he left. So after reading this article, it seems that his position, since he was hired I think he was hired in 2021, but his position title has changed, from VP of game development to Netflix VP of generative AI in games. But I think the big issue here and why he's leaving is because there's been a big change since July of 2024 when they hired the Epic Game executive Alan Taskin. So Alan Taskin, who worked for Epic Games, came in July, and since then they've had a couple studios shut down, a couple AAA development teams getting let go. They also removed a lot of the video titles and things like that, video game titles and things like that. So there's just been a lot of things shifting in the Netflix studio, the Netflix ecosphere, and yet again more layoffs for the game industry. Where it seems that game industry is very much struggling, and many people are getting laid off. So that's why people are trying to find work in the game industry, and it's hard because no one's hiring right now because everyone's just letting people go. They're doing a restructure. I don't know what's going on. It just seems that it's another company and another situation where people are being let go, and it seems that Alan Taskin has really stepped in and made the Netflix gaming and generative AI chief leave the company. I think he wanted. I think it was kind of a power struggle. It seems between them of what to do, and Alan ended up winning this tug of war, I guess, and so he moved on. That's just what it appears to me from all the information I read. I'll have a link to the article down below, so you let me know what you guys think as far as this is concerned. And also, have you guys even heard of Netflix games? Have you played any of them? Do you recommend any of them? Please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to take a look at that when I get a chance. All right, guys, moving on to our movie news topics of the day. Our first movie news topic is the studio trailer. So if you haven't heard of this, it's with Seth Rogen. He seems to be the now studio executive for this company that creates content or creates movies. And it's a show about the struggles and the things that they need to do to make good content. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The casting is good. It seems that we're going to have a lot of cool cameos from great actors and great performers. But this looks like a very funny series, and it's coming to us from Apple TV Plus, and it will be launching at the end of this month on March 26th. So keep your eyes out for the studio. I really enjoyed this trailer, and I hope that you guys should have a chance to check it out again. Links in the description down below. And let me know what you guys think. Is this a show that you guys are interested in? And you know what? March has been an interesting month for shows. We got the Reacher series. We have Daredevil. We got some anime being released. And so, it's been a good month so far for shows. I think we still have Andor to be released this month. And now we have the studio. So what a great month for TV shows. Really good time to be a TV show fan. Moving on to our next topic, Fallout Season 2 set photos leaked. So we have our first view of our live action Fallout New Vegas. So I really like this topic because I love it when we have topics that integrate film and movies. So if you've never played Fallout New Vegas, I highly recommend you take the time to play that game. It's a lot of fun, and it's so cool seeing some of these videos and photos of the set, seeing Fallout New Vegas come to life. I think the first season of Fallout was absolutely phenomenal, and this next season is looking to do the same, and I really hope it's just as good, if not better, especially because they are integrating with the New Vegas aspect of the Fallout series. And wow, just so cool seeing these sets. It's nothing big, nothing game breaking, but man, just from playing the games and now seeing a live action version of it, I wish I could go be there on set and just take a look and kind of relive being in the game, but in real life. It would be so awesome. So I'm very excited for this series to come out, and it can't get here sooner. I think Fallout has been one of the best shows to come out in the last couple of years, with Shogun and other ones. Last year was just a crazy year for TV shows and streaming shows, and what a phenomenal job that they did. I think Fallout has probably one of the best openings to a show I have ever seen with that with that nuclear explosion. I remember watching it and just my heart hit my chest, my jaw dropped, and I was like, what the hell? Because it's crazy, because something like that is possible. So to see it depicted so beautifully and so scary is just amazing. I highly recommend you guys watch the Fallout show if you haven't seen it, and I really look forward to season 2. And let me know what you guys think of these set photos. Have you played New Vegas? Do you want to check it out? I highly recommend you do. But let me know what you guys think. On to our next topic, back to some Apple TV Plus news. Your Friend's Neighbors trailer has dropped. This is with, oh my God, why was I going to say Hugh Grant? It's not Armie Hammer either. Oh my God, I can't remember the actor's name. I'm going to look up the actor's name while I talk about this. But the trailer looked to be a lot of fun. It seems that a rich man is going broke, and he knows that a lot of the people in his life and in his world do not pay attention to their belongings, and he starts going around to steal all his neighbors and his friends' stuff because they won't know for a long time that it is missing. And I think this is a cool concept for a TV show. I think this is a TV show. I don't think they said if it was a TV show or a movie. The trailer seemed like more TV show esque. So let me know what you guys think. Oh, it's from John Hamm. So yeah, John Hamm, Olivia Munn are in this, and this looks like a fun TV show. You know what? Let me find out. Is this a TV show? And yes, it is a TV show. So another TV show coming for Apple TV. This looks like a fun TV show. It looks very comical. And I think John Hamm is a great actor and a great performer. And this show is going to come to us on April 11th. Let me know what you guys think of the trailer. I highly recommend you check it out. And before we can move on to our next topic, I do have to say Apple TV has brought us some of the most interesting shows and some of the great content since they've started their streaming service. Coming from, the Shrinking, which I think is the best show Apple TV Plus has done, and I highly recommend it. See, which I think is a little underrated, not the best show, but it was very interesting. And then they have, not Severance. What's it called? Silo, which really wasn't interested in until my brother told me to check it out, and I got hooked right away. And just they have great shows, great content, great movies with the wolves, and I really love what they are doing over there at Apple TV. So I'm definitely going to be checking out both the studio and Your Friend's Neighbors. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you interested in this show? Do you like John Hamm? Let me know. Moving on to topic number 4. The Lilo and Stitch trailer just dropped, and it dropped about 30 minutes before I started recording this. And, initially I was like, Lilo and Stitch, kid actor, it's probably going to be one of those, dumb family movies, not great acting. And this trailer, I don't know if it hit my nostalgia. I don't know what, but I loved it. It was such a cute, good trailer. It took me back to when I was a kid. And I cannot wait for this movie. Initially, I wasn't very excited. I was like, más o menos about it. Sorry, that's Spanish. It more or less like whatever. I was right in the middle of this movie. And this just took me over the edge to being interested in this movie. Now, this movie is coming to us on May 23rd. And wow, I am now excited for Lilo and Stitch. I think the actress that they got playing Lilo, she's so adorable. I think she's going to do a phenomenal job. And I'm very interested to seeing what the outcome of this movie will be and what changes that they make to the story. The little sketch that they have in the trailer of Stitch pulling out the disc and throwing it in the back had me dying for some reason. And I just love Stitch, I remember watching the movie when I was little and then watching the TV show where they collect all the other numbered monsters and just, this is so fun. And that other gag where they take off his cloaking device and you see him as an alien again, that was funny as well. So yeah, I like who they got for the agent. I can't remember the agent's name, but I love the actor that they got for that. I think he's going to do a great job. And yeah, guys, I mean, what can I say? Lilo and Stitch looks like a lot of fun, guys. I can't wait to watch it in the theaters. Let me know what you guys think. Have you seen the trailer? And on to our last topic of the day. John Wick 5 is still in development. So it looks like Lionsgate is still developing a John Wick 5, even though Keanu Reeves had said some comments of he's dead, he's not coming back and things of that sort. And now I think, what I think is going on personally is I think the studio, of course, wants a John Wick 5. There's still more stories to tell, even though they kind of ended it. But I think Keanu Reeves is moving on to his other projects. I know he's working on Constantine, and he's also working on his comic book adaptation Berserk, which we talked about the other day. And so I don't think he's very interested in returning to John Wick. However, with acting and things like that, it'll be interesting how they work around his schedule if they do continue the development of John Wick 5. I think they're going to wait for the reception to the ballerina. If you don't know, there's a movie coming out called The Ballerina, and that is within the John Wick universe. If you watch the trailer, John Wick is in it. And I think they're going to see how that performs and how that does. And then they may move forward with the John Wick 5 before they do a Ballerina 2, depending on how this movie is received and how it ends, of course. But yeah, I just think that Keanu Reeves has a lot on his plate right now. I know he really, really wants to focus on Constantine. That's a movie he's been trying to get off the ground for quite some time. And he's really focused on Berserk because that is his baby, coming from a comic book that he co-wrote and created. And so, yeah, me personally, I would focus on Berserk more than anything else at this time. But, I'm very interested in what they're going to do. I think they can work around his schedule. He's going to be a very, very busy man if he has to do all three of these projects. But, he does crazy physical training for these John Wick movies. So that's also going to take some time. But I think the benefit is if he does Berserk and John Wick 5 and possibly Constantine within the same window of time, that training could benefit each character in all those roles, depending on how they, want to film it and want things to go for his character. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you hoping that we get a John Wick 5? Or are you more excited to see Keanu Reeves in his other projects, Constantine, Berserk, and anything else he has in the works? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that's a wrap for today's episode, guys. Thank you for joining me here at the Truly Odd Podcast. If you like the show, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. And until then, remember, stay true, be odd.